Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. We're here with Xilin, Cheng, and myself, the host, Kathleen Taggart from DataXstream. We're going to be going through our current project, Intelligent Order Creation, and how we were roped into the SAP Data Intelligence Content Sprint, and how we've been able to collaborate with them, those in SAP, and those other partners working in data intelligence to come up with some really interesting, innovative solutions on using the DI platform to better serve our customers. So, Xilin, how about you introduce yourself and give us a little bit of your background?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Xilin Cheng. I'm a software developer in DataXstream, and I'm also working task as a machine learning engineer. And basically, I build the infrastructure for DataXstream's testing framework but today we're gonna focus on the work we did around SAP Data Intelligence and the project we are working on. And Kat's gonna give you guys more details about that.
Awesome, thanks, Xilin. As he mentioned, he's software developer at DataXstream. We've known each other since college. Raw, you got your ring on.
Ooh.
And then both came over to DataXstream right after graduation to join the machine learning development team. Since then, I've transitioned into marketing, and I'm now focusing on the technical marketing around data intelligence and robotic process automation. So I guess we'll just start with why we're here today. Can you give us a quick overview, like the high-level overview of what intelligent order creation is in the first place and kind of what it does for our customers? How do we even start this project?
Yeah, absolutely. So this entire project started with the very basic business question. So suppose the client send a purchase order in PDF files that contain like 100 different materials and the different quantities for each materials. So it usually takes people hours to input and search those materials in SAP database one by one. And try to form an SAP order from there. This is a long process, very labor intensive and repetitive work. And the human error usually is a big influence factor for getting this deal done or not during this process. So that is why we're building this OMS Plus intelligent order creation project. Basically aims to have AI do all the labor-intensive, repetitive work, but much faster and much more accurate by using the OCR technology. And we also have them successfully integrated with OMS Plus and the SAP system, which makes the project very practical for any organization using SAP. That's basically how the initial intention for starting this project is to help our clients to speed it up this entire order creation process, especially when there's a large amount of order involving large amount of materials.
Absolutely. Really improves that customer experience when, they submit a quote and they get it back in a couple hours or even within a couple minutes versus having to wait weeks to project how their project's going to go, what the forecasting and the budget's going to be. Absolutely. And I guess we kind of originally saw this project come up in 2020 when one of our clients was trying to build this for themselves in-house. And they were like, could you do this? And we're like, yeah, absolutely. Like, are you guys using a machine learning platform? Are you using SAP Data Intelligence? And they had started with kind of this classification system, and our senior machine learning engineer was able to come in and really build out the algorithms using cosine similarity, using OCR to better and to really improve the potential of the product that we had going on. And so they've been very happy with the results, right? And we're continuing to demo that to them, and it's also led to other projects too. So it's been really exciting to see how that's evolved, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think this project has a lot of potential to extend to further area. There's so much more technology we'll be able to integrate into the prototype, these basics of the project we have already been built. And I think it could be very flexible to satisfy any client needs when it comes to OCR or order creation, or even for the search engine we're going to be talking about later.
Yeah, and really, I think one of the key terms here is robotic process automation, as people realize that machine learning can do a lot of business function that traditionally was done by someone behind the counter. Let those people go out and use their time more wisely to build the customer relationships, and let the machine learning and the robotic process automation handle the manual data entry tasks that are so error prone. And yeah, we could rave on and on about how the potential of the product, but let's segue into how do we use SAP Data Intelligence? I know that we had been talking with some our contacts at SAP, and they had been helping us build the product, and then they said, why don't you guys join our Content Sprint? Your project is so innovative, and it's a great example of the potential of SAP DI. Why do we use data intelligence?
First of all, DataXstream is a partner with SAP. So when we have this project requirement, we immediately reach out to them. It's like, hey, do you guys have any machine learning platform we could use? And they say, yes, we have SAP Data Intelligence, and they give us a trial version, and we tried it, and it's an excellent machine learning development platform. It's basically an machine learning IDE with all the tools that you need to develop machine learning pipeline, but with very straightforward interface. There's no fancy functions that complex and makes developer confused. It's pretty straightforward and very simple to use, and it makes the machine learning development and the pipeline building process as easy as possible for machine learning engineer and data scientists like me and my colleague. Plus, it is a SAP product, so it is very, very simple to integrate with all the other SAP products. That is essential to machine learning process like HANA S4 or SAP Analytic Cloud. It's basically just operator plugging and use, and everything is already been built in, and it's very, very easy. That's why we decide to go with SAP DI, not because just we're the partner, but also it's an excellent platform. And while we've been doing this project, SAP DI support team has constantly been giving us help, and during this process, they're really interested in what we're doing. So they're like offer us this content sprint opportunities to basically marketing for our product, and through our product, they could also marketing their SAP Data Intelligence platform for more users. So it's like a win-win situation, and we both happy about. So I think the Content Sprint is a great event for getting our stuff out, exposed to more audience and the clients.
And it's been really excellent to see what other partners are doing with SAP Data Intelligence as well. Some of the other SAP Content Sprint attendants were also Camelot, and they're using it for the supply chain automation or optimization. So it's really interesting to see how people are getting creative and innovative with the technology that SAP Data Intelligence offers. And they're just using the platform to build these fantastic tools that serve very specific customer pain points. And that's really, and that's like the beginning of it, because, after we get started, our products will continue to grow, and we're going to, again, we were talking about the potential of it, but hopefully as it takes off, there'll be this whole community around SAP Data Intelligence that, we can refer to each other, and we can collaborate with each other on how we're using it, and the potential of some of the pipelines, and even just machine learning concepts, and how we've developed that into our products to make them improve. So yeah, potential is really exciting. Yep. And that was, key for your role on the the artificial intelligence team here, because you were working on the pipelines and you were in SAP DI every day, programming in Python, setting up APIs between our systems, working with the data you were getting from SAP backend. Can you tell us a little bit more about the work that you did on the project?
Sure. Yeah, I am the machine learning engineer of the project. I basically work with my colleague to design the machine learning workflow, build the pipeline based on the workflow in DI, and manipulate and data mining to form a bunch of nice tables so the output would be useful and better integrated into our backend and the front end system. I also collect and make the training data set with UCAT and use those data sets to train those highly customized machine learning models in order to give us a better results to each specific customer, because they're all unique. Their data set is there won't be general models that could apply to every client, and we also want the clients to have a better accuracy and unique experience. That means the model has to be highly customized. So that is also part of my job. I'm also managing to integrate the OCR engines into our machine learning pipelines. So yeah, basically, I built the entire pipelines, the OCR pipelines, and have it ready to expand in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you did a ton of, specifically back to the optical character recognition capabilities that we've built into our solution. I know that you did a ton of work on the analysis of, how are we going to handle a purchase order that comes in and it's handwritten, or how are we going to handle a purchase order that comes in, the format is different than another, or it's on a horizontal landscape or vertical landscape, because some of these machine learning, these OCR AIs, they're truly looking for pattern recognition. And so when you throw it a unique purchase order, it can kind of get confused and take it off the rails. So we did a lot of customization on training them to look for very specific types of text, very specific labels. You want to speak to any of that?
Yeah, so basically, the OCR engine we are using is outsourced. So that OCR engine's result, we can't control it. We can only input in, have the OCR running, and return us the result. So a lot of time, because it's a general engine, a lot of the data, like the table data stuff, won't return 100% successfully, because sometimes it depends on the structure of the purchase order. It could be variant. So it's up to us to figure out a way to automate it, have our machine learning models to look into those data to decide, oh, what is this data, and if this data in the right place or not. If not, say there's a material number being labeled as irrelevant data and will be discarded, and our machine learning model will be prevent that and have the material number actually being labeled as material number and put in the correct place. So when the client form an inquiry in the front end, they will have ability to manually check, instead of this data would be completely being discarded. And after the data being passed to the front end, the client also has ability to change the data if they labeled it wrong, because the machine learning model is not going to be 100% accuracy. But we do have the feedback system to learn the mistake and the reinforced learning. So after all that, the model would learn the mistake and then will label better over time with specific this kind of data, and the model will become more and more customized, specific to this customer.
Sure. Yeah. And I guess that's one of the advantages to our solution, is because we can, we just have the advantage of being able to choose which OCR model that we like. So as the market changes, as they improve, and as new competitors emerge in that market, we're able to still kind of pick and choose which engines we like, which engines are the best, which engines perform the best, and that can change and fluctuate as new developments come out onto the come into the OCR market. And then also, as you were talking about, we have the feedback system. So not only do we train models to specifically understand the OCR, those tables that are coming in from the OCR pipeline,
right?
Filter there with the relevance, but we've built the feedback system so that as the clients are using the interface, no matter their skill level, if they're interacting with intelligent order creation, if they're building orders, the models are already learning from their usage and from their performance on what patterns, what's going well, what things are being predicted slightly incorrectly, how can the predictions improve, and it's just collecting that log of data so that we can go back and understand truly how is it performing and how do we optimize it for the client.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's actually come back to the point I was mentioning earlier, that this project has so much potential to expand in the future. And we also, besides this project, we also have done other intelligent the order creation stuff other than that. So we have done the material and the customer search engines. And so sometimes the material description on the purchase order are not going to be exactly the same of the SAP description in the customer's database. So both of those engines will be able to parse the descriptions and return the materials or the customers that have the highest similarity. And those two engines could also be integrated into the intelligent order creation project we're working on. Also, the feedback system that we've been talking about will be integrated into the order creation system, that basically it's so easy to use in the front end that someone without any technology background would just simply upload the file and just wait it to return the result, and it will automatically form an inquiry for you, which is like the edited version of SAP order, where the user would just go manually examine to see if the order is correct or not. That's hugely reducing the processing time for creating an order and stuff. And the machine learning model will get most of the order correct. So some of the order, even it finds the wrong materials in your SAP database using the material search engine, the user will be able to manually correct them. And after the user correct all the stuff, our feedback system would automatically capture all those data and have those data send back to our automated feedback system, and those feedback system will automatically processing those data and form a table and a matrix about a lot of features of those data for us to analyze further, and those features will be further analyzed in the SAP Analytic Cloud. So and after the Analytic Cloud, we will figure out a way to make the model better, because every customer's needs is different, and it's our job to satisfy every customer's individual needs on the characteristic of the models. So the way of training the model isn't always the same, but with all those data, we will be able to figure out what customer is looking for and improve the models on the way goes. And eventually we will automate the entire system that the feedback would directly goes into training the model, and the new model would be automatically be applied to the customer. So next time when the model won't make the same mistake it made the last time.
Right, and it'll just be this continuous cycle of, and it will be non-disruptive. It'll just the updates will push, the models will be improved, the machine learning models will be, being optimized, but the client on the front end will just continue to work, and all of a sudden the results are just getting better and better and better, and the predictions at some point we'll have to do very minimal corrections. And even from the start, our correction percentages, it's like 90% correct already. When you look at a purchase order that's like thousands of line items, and it would have taken, even a very, very experienced sales representative days to go through, maybe hours, but still a tremendous amount of human time running through those purchase orders, cross-referencing on the internal system in SAP, all the numbers. It will take, it would take only a few minutes for our intelligent material search to return those results. And then, it'll just be this continuous cycle of pattern correction and recognition as the models continue to develop and improve. There's just tremendous potential with using SAP DI as your platform, and then what all the fantastic machine learning capabilities that you can build on top of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And because usually a client's database is limited, there's only a certain amount of material the client is selling. So whatever the order comes in, the machine learning models won't have millions of materials to learn or being added into the search index. So the reinforcement learning process won't take very long until the model gets pretty accurate. And it also depends on how the customer formed their description. It might be too ambiguous. That's where the human power would step in to make sure when machine learning models have, say, 3 materials, if they find a 3 material in similar in the very similarity, and it depends on the human to select which one is it, and then that feedback, that selection would go back to the our feedback system. Then we'll know, okay, this is what customer input and this is what the customer search, so this is the correct answer, and this is the questions, and now we wanted the model to learn, this is the question, this is the answer, and the next time pair them together. Basically, that's how it works.
Right, yeah, and it'll almost be like a browser-like interface where you just go on and you begin to search for the material or the data. It could be customer data, it could be material data, but either way, the machine learning algorithms will start to pick up on those patterns and provide recommendations so that you don't have to spend time manually going through numbers and all the specs to try and get the right material and to find the right material. It's just going to present that to you, and you pick what you need. So the potential is incredible, and it's going to be super exciting to see what continues to happen with our intelligent automation suite and what our partners continue to develop with SAP Data Intelligence. We're looking forward to seeing all the fantastic solutions that are built on this platform in the future. If you want to learn more about SAP Data Intelligence, please check out the SAP Data Intelligence Content Sprint. The links are below. You can also come visit us at DataXstream.com. You can follow this podcast series as we begin our Ask the Expert podcast series to learn more about our products, the development process, gain insights from machine learning developers, the data scientists, the product leads, the UI devs, everybody on the whole team. And thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you learned something interesting, and we look forward to collaborating with you in the future. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.